Good morning, class 12th commerce. This is your subject economics, chapter 6, new economic policy, lecture 2. We have discussed in the previous lecture the need for NEP. Now we shall discuss about elements of NEP and what was the need to introduce them. See, elements of NEP, new economic policy: liberalization, privatization, and globalization. These are the three elements of NEP. If the question comes, what is LPG policy? It is same as your new economic policy. LPG stands for liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Fine. So, three elements of new economic reforms: LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Let's start with liberalization. Now, see, first its meaning. Liberalization of the economy means freedom of the producing units from direct or physical control imposed by the government. Clear? So that means government is not putting any direct restriction on the entrepreneur, on the industrial sector, on the producing units. Fine. Government is just checking whether the producing units is fulfilling all the provisions of the Companies Act, of the sole proprietorship act, or whatever the laws are there. So government is just putting in watch that all the producing units are following all the provisions of the law or not. Fine. On the other hand, it has given a liberty, a freedom, fine, to produce the goods which the unit want to produce. But still there are certain restrictions on the production of certain goods, such as liquor, such as defense goods. No, it is not such that anybody can produce drugs. It is not feasible that anybody can produce liquor. It is not feasible that anybody can produce defense goods. No, there are certain restriction. If we talk about defense goods, they are monopoly of the government. Only and only government can produce defense goods. No other private individual can produce. Clear? So, and nowadays there is so much restriction on the production and sale of liquor after the Kingfisher scam. Fine, Vijay Mallya scam, Kingfisher scam. After that scam, there is so much restriction on production of liquor, on the production of beers, wine. Clear? And on the facility of credit availability. There are certain restriction which are heavily imposed. Clear? So what is liberalization? It means freedom of producing units from direct or physical control imposed by the government. Why we are saying direct? So it suggests that there are some indirect control. Law and order. Fine. Now, why controls are imposed? Why the government impose such control? Why the government need to control the enterprises? Because in the context of the Indian experiences, controls were imposed by the government with a view to check the growth of private monopolies. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर अपनी मोनोपोली बनाए जा रहा है. To check the growth of private monopolies. Secondly, minimizing the hold of large industrial houses on financial resources of the country. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि भाई बहुत सारे जो लार्ज इंडस्ट्रियल फर्म्स हैं वो फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर पे अपना कंट्रोल बना रही है. द बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल आई शैल गिव यू दैट किंगफिशर स्कैम, विजय माल्या. फाइन, Vijay Mallya started with its liquor firm, wine firm, fine. Then it moved to the airlines. So Vijay Mallya took heavy loan from the private as well as the government banks. ठीक है. So government, see, there was control, but because Vijay Mallya was also the member of Rajya Sabha, so he had a good political connection. That's why he got huge amount of loan. Otherwise, because of restrictions, because of control imposed by the government, it is not possible to, take this much of loan. About 9,000 crore loan. It is not possible for any private farms or any large industrial houses. So these controls government impose to minimize the hold of large industrial houses on the financial resources of the country. Clear? अगर industrial houses financial institution के shares भी खरीद लेती है, ठीक है ना, so अगर वो बड़ी बड़ी फर्म्स बैंक्स के या कोई भी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन उसके शेयर्स खरीद लेती है, देन डेफिनेटली इट बिकम शेयर होल्डर, और शेयर होल्डर आर द रियल ऑनर ऑफ अ फर्म. सो टू प्रोटेक्ट द फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्सेज के ऐसा ना हो कि जितने भी लार्ज इंडस्ट्रियल हाउसेज हैं वो ऑनर्स बन जाए, ठीक है, हमारी कंट्री के फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्सेज के. सो देयर इज अ नीड टू इम्पोज सर्टेन restrictions. Clear? So if the question comes why there is a need to impose control to check the growth of private monopolies, minimizing the hold of large industrial houses on the financial resources of the country. Fine. Now see, some banks were nationalized in 60s. Clear? Because they were owned by the big industrial houses who would use banking funds primarily to meet their own financial needs. So SBI Bank, I think it was nationalized in 1969. Fine. Why it was nationalized? And there are so many other banks who were nationalized. Why they were nationalized? Majorly in 1960s something they were nationalized. Why? Because majority of their shares were held by the private entrepreneurs, and they used to utilize the bank fund for their own purpose, for their own, to satisfy their own needs. Are you getting this point? So the reason is that so that our country resources do not get depleted, they use those resources. They preferred imposing certain restrictions. Now see some of the notable observation in the regards of liberalization. See, NEP policy, new economic reforms, or LPG policy was introduced in 1991. So what was the condition before 1991? Prior to 1991, government had imposed several types of controls, fine, on private enterprises in the domestic economy. These included industrial licensing, system, price control, or financial control on the goods. See, these included industrial licensing system, price control, or financial control on the goods, import license, foreign exchange control, restriction on the investment by big business houses. Secondly, it was experienced by the government that several shortcomings had emerged in the economy on account of these controls. These controls had given rise to corruption, undue delays, and inefficiency. Fine. So this was the condition before 1991, that there were certain restrictions on the setup of private sector enterprises. Fine. Now this was also the reason that Coca-Cola was operating in India, but because of several restrictions, it went back to its home country. But when this LPG policy was introduced, Coca-Cola again came to India. It set up its franchisee in India and it started operating. Clear? So if there are several restrictions, you take your own example. If every time you are put under certain restrictions, will you able to utilize your true talent, or will you be able to enjoy your life? No. आपको अगर इट इज़ ट्रूली सेड कि अगर आप पिंजरे में किसी को बंद करके रख दोगे तो इट इज़ मीनिंगलेस, लाइफ इज़ मीनिंगलेस फॉर दैट person or that creature. Clear? So industrial licensing system, price control, financial control, import licensing, foreign exchange control, so these were all the restrictions. And because of these restrictions, government felt that there is so much of economy is going down and down, GDP is falling, because it's very true that प्राइवेट सेक्टर जो होंगे वो सिर्फ लिमिटेड काम करेंगे, दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू फेस द कॉम्पिटिशन. फाइन. एंड इट लेड टू द करप्शन ऑल्सो, inefficiency also, definitely. So these were the some notable observation prior to 1991. Now see, there देखो, liberalization, privatization, globalization. Now our chapter is economic reforms. Now we'll study what are the economic reforms under liberalization, economic reforms under privatization, and economic reforms under globalization. Clear? Now see, economic reforms under liberalization. First is industrial sector reforms, financial sector reforms, fiscal reform, and external sector reforms. In today's lecture, we'll just discuss only two reforms: industrial sector reforms and financial sector reforms. Clear? So before starting these two topics, you can easily guess the meaning of these reforms. Industrial sector reforms, what do you think? What can be included in this reform? Obviously, reforms related to industries. Maybe there are kind of changes. Maybe private sector. Maybe we can discuss about private sector, public sector. So in industrial sector reforms, we'll study what was the scenario, what was the condition of industrial sector, what changes were brought in the industrial sector. Clear? Financial sector reforms. What do you understand by the word financial sector? Obviously related to money, finance. See, so there are various financial sectors, those who provide finance to the general public or to the government or to the rest of the world, है ना? So in this topic we'll study what were the changes brought in the financial sector. Clear? So industrial sector reforms, financial sector reforms, fiscal reforms and external sector reforms. See, economic reforms with liberalization as its key component were based on the assumption that market forces would drive the economy towards the path of competitive growth and development. इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स इसी सोल मोटो से इंट्रोड्यूस हुए थे that market forces would drive the economy, would take the economy towards the path of growth and development. So here is your 1 mark question, that there is one assumption on which economic reforms was introduced. What is that assumption? It is that market forces would drive the economy towards the path of competitive growth and development. Again, one more 1 marker question. Give some examples of developing countries. Korea, India, Thailand, Singapore. So they are the developing economies. Now let's study industrial sector reforms. First one is, see, liberalization virtually implied deregulation of industrial sector of the economy. Following observation highlight how it happened. First is abolition of industrial licensing. In July 1991, a new industrial policy was announced. It abolished the requirement of licensing except following 5 industries. I told you earlier, liquor, cigarette, defense good, इंडस्ट्रियल एक्सप्लोसिव, डेंजरस केमिकल्स के इन 5 के अलावा, ठीक है, आपको लाइसेंस लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. लेकिन अगर आप लिकर का प्रोडक्शन करते हो, सिगरेट का प्रोडक्शन करते हो, डिफेंस गुड्स का प्रोडक्शन करते हो, इंडस्ट्रियल एक्सप्लोसिव प्रोड्यूस करते हो, सो ड्रग्स प्रोड्यूस करते हो, यू नीड टू टेक द लाइसेंस. क्लियर? Then contraction of public sector. Under the new industrial policy, number of industries reserved for public sector reduced from 17 to 8. In 2010-11, number of these industries was reduced merely to 2. Atomic energy and railways. That means गवर्नमेंट की अगर हम मोनोपोली की बात करें तो वो 2 ही जगह बची है अब. कहाँ पर? एटॉमिक एनर्जी और रेलवेज. रेलवे का एग्जांपल तो यूजुअली गिव यू दैट इट्स द मोनोपोली ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, एंड एटॉमिक एनर्जी वेयर सर्टेन एटॉमिक goods or war related goods or certain power plants goods. So these are under the government monopoly. Clear with this? Abolition of industrial licensing, that for except for 5 industries, no need to obtain the license. 5 industries: liquor, cigarette, defense goods, industrial explosive and dangerous chemical. Fine. Contraction of public sector from 17 to 8 and now 2. Clear? from 17 to 8. Earlier 17, then 17 public sector industries were there. Now then it was reduced to 8, and according to 2010-11 survey, there are only 2 industries which are under the monopoly of the government: atomic energy
here,
and railways.
One marker question.
Are you done
can
with
be
this?
asked, the number of
with these 2
industries
points?
deployed.
Okay.
Fine. In what was the earlier? What was the number of public sector industries? And it reduced to 8. Earlier it was 17. Now it is reduced to 8. And in 2010-11 survey, there are only 2 industries. So this 1 marker question can be asked. Another question that can be asked is, what are name those 5 industries for whom the private entrepreneurs need to obtain the license. You can name them: liquor, cigarette, defense goods, industrial explosive, and dangerous chemicals. Clear? Now see, number 3 point, de-reservation of production areas. Many production areas which were earlier reserved for small scale industries were de-reserved. Forces of market were allowed to determine allocation of resources rather than directive policy of the government. Expansion of production capacity. Earlier production capacity was linked with licensing. Now freedom from licensing implied freedom from capacity constraints. What to produce, how to produce was now a matter of producer choice depending upon the market condition. Freedom to import capital goods. Liberalization also implied freedom for the industrialist to import capital goods with a view to upgrade their technology. Permission was no longer required from the government to enter into international agreement for the import of technology, because if the producer will import the technology, then definitely it will be a beneficial step or a positive step for the growth and development of the country. But those technology should not harm the national interest of the economy. Clear? It should not harm the national resources or the society's interest at large. Clear? Expansion of production capacity, that means in 11th class also we discussed that what to produce, how to produce. Sometimes it depends upon the government, depends upon the type of economy. But this LPG policy made it liberal that producers can take their own decision. Clear? देखो de-reservation का मतलब क्या होता है? Earlier something was reserved, now that reserved tag is abolished. There is no reserved tag. So de-reservation of production areas, earlier those areas which were reserved for small scale industries, now they were de-reserved. Now there was abolition of reservation on that area. So now the forces of market, the demand and supply force, were allowed to determine allocation of resources rather than directive policy of the government. Now government will not direct that you do this or that. It depends upon the market forces, demand and supply. It depends upon the choice of the producer. Clear with all the industrial sector reforms? Okay. Now financial sector reforms. Financial sector includes banking, non-banking financial institutions, stock exchange market, foreign exchange market. In India, financial sectors are regulated by RBI. Role of RBI changed from regulator to facilitator. Fine. Allowed FDI and FII. Now foreign institutional investment and foreign direct investment was allowed in the country. Liberalization allowed FII to invest in the Indian financial market. FII के examples merchant bankers, mutual funds, pension funds. Fine. and free play of market forces led to the emergence of private bankers, both domestic as well as international, in the Indian banking industry. Clear? So there was a substantial shift in the role of RBI from regulator to the facilitator of the financial sector. Now market forces decide the interest rate, volume and pattern of investment. As a regulator, RBI would itself fix the interest rate, but as a facilitator, RBI would facilitate the free play of market forces and leave it to the commercial bank to decide their interest rate structure. Now competition rather than control rule the decision making process. Now RBI no longer take the RBI do take the interest rate, but not all the times. Sometimes it's left on the decision of the commercial bank.